Okay, home care partners, having a good intake process is crucial to your business, and here's why. You need to be able to, first and foremost, know what your niche market is and who your target client is. Number one, that's most important. As you're building your client base, make sure you establish that understanding so that as you're getting referrals, as people are generally finding out about your agency and services, you can have an intake form put together in such a way that will help you decipher whether or not this client is a fit for your agency. Problematic clients are a given. The quicker you find out if they're problematic, the better off your agency is. Problematic clients are one category by themselves, and then there are those other categories within the problematic client that you need to be aware of, such as those clients that are kind of being forced but not forced into having home care. You'll have families contact you that are frustrated that parent or loved one is declining at home. They're starting to notice things, hygiene, missing doctor appointments, not taking meds, not eating. I've had several people call me and tell me that the particular loved one may have been on the floor for many days and no one knew. Things of that nature that families go through, and they are very frustrated and they want to get that person some help, and they are going to try to use you as much as possible to do so. However, you have to, as an agency, understand when it's in and out of scope. And to determine that, your intake form will help you in the beginning ask certain questions that you should be asking of the point of contact or of the client. But specific to when client families are calling, because they're very emotional, they're very frustrated. So in their mind, it looks like boom. But in your mind, as the person that's going to be doing the intake, it should be very strategic, just because you have to find a happy medium. And if you're not able to, that might not be the right client for you. Here's why. When you have a client that's kind of being forced into home care, they're not going to let the caregiver in. They're not going to be willing to continue on a regular schedule. Remember, you get paid based on how often you're going. So if the client is constantly canceling, sending the caregiver home, telling the caregiver there's nothing for you to do, all of a sudden they're sick all the time, which is their way of saying, I don't want home care. And sometimes the family doesn't understand that. So rather than get caught up in the middle of that, develop a good intake form, and be very solid about what you will and won't tolerate. Just because, again, we're not offering these services complimentary. You have caregivers that want to make a living, and you don't want to waste a good caregiver on a client that's reluctant, that doesn't really want to cooperate. For more tips like this, go to CoachLeslie.club, join my email list, and happy home care.